Hey guys, my name is Anthony and in today's video it's going to be episode 3 of my Alfa Romeo career mode series. So if you want to see more videos similar to this, make sure to click the like button down below. It lets YouTube know that you guys are liking the content so that it can promote it to other people, and it also lets me know that you guys like it so that I can continue to make this sort of content. And if you want to see more content from this channel and you're new, make sure to hit that big red button down below and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so let's see if we can hit that, guys. So moving on to the back end of what's going on now in HQ. As you can see, I'm sort of looking at some of the upgrades that we can make to the car. We did make some upgrades in the previous episode and they came through pretty nicely, but I definitely need to make more upgrades to the aerodynamics and the chassis side of the car, so that's why I'm putting even more upgrades on straight away. I think we had about 2,000 R&D points by this point, so I knew that by the end of this episode we could gather up some more R&D points and put even more upgrades onto the car. And as you can see right now, we're looking at the driver's perks, and I didn't really know too much about the driver's perks, so I just took a look at them and I seen that we had $300,000 and that we could afford most of these, at least level 1 at least. So let me know in the comment section which driver perk should I purchase for the next episode. So moving on to qualifying now, and as you can see it's a wet qualifying and it's also a wet race too, so yeah, pretty interesting here at China. It seems to always rain for me at China in career mode, so yeah, that first lap we did was a 46.0 and it was okay, but you know, the track was definitely evolving as time went on. The rain was slowly stopping, which meant that the track was getting quicker and quicker, and as you can see right now, coming up to the final corner, we're a second up on our previous time and we take that corner kind of nice, but we end up going a little bit wide and we invalidated our lap, and I was pretty disappointed by that because we were up by a second, but I knew that the track was getting quicker and quicker because it was raining less and less. So for our final qualifying lap, it wasn't the best lap, especially that first sector. I just couldn't get the traction down properly there, but we still ended up being over a second up on our time. And coming through the final corner now, we took it a lot better than we did in the previous lap, so we're 1.2 seconds up on our time now, and we ended up finishing in P16 apparently, but then it quickly changed to P9 and I hadn't actually noticed that it changed to P9, so I'm actually going to show you guys my reaction to me finding out that I was in P9 and not P16 like I thought. So yeah, as you can see, I was pretty confused as to what was going on there, but yeah, we made it into Q2 nonetheless, and our first lap was okay. As you can see, the track again, it's still getting quicker because the rain has completely stopped by this point, but we're still using intermediate tires, and I think we were in 11th place by this point. And at the end of Q2, as you can see, it was fully dry, so we were on the soft tires, and I was really pushing here because I really wanted to make it into Q3. I was thinking to myself, if we could get this Alfa Romeo car into Q3, we have a very good chance in the race. You can see I was doing my best. I was trying really hard here. I was concentrating really hard. But coming up into the final corner now, take this corner even better than before. Obviously, it being in dry conditions now, we can even attack the corners even more. And it was about 9 seconds up on our previous time. And as you can see, we made it into Q3. We were just inside the top 10. I think we were about 2 tenths off of being knocked out. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that. We finally made it into Q3 in the Alfa Romeo car, and it only took about, I think, 3 or 4 races. Yeah, this is the 3rd race that we're doing this season. So as you can see, I gave the thumbs up and I was pretty happy with that. Our teammate didn't make it into Q3 sadly. The 2 Alfa Tauris, I believe, did make it in, or just Kvyat. But anyways, coming into Q3, I'm going to show you guys my quickest lap in Q3, which was actually my quickest lap in the entire session. So I'm going to leave it here and let you guys see what a lap at China looks like. So as we come up to the final straight now, the long 1 kilometer straight, there were some curbs that we took too much of and we missed some apexes, so there was definitely some time on the table. But I believe based on our first lap we needed 5 tenths in order to pass Kvyat. And I definitely wanted to pass Kvyat because he's now going to be our new rival moving forward. So as you can see, moving into the final corner now, we are 5 tenths up and we take that final corner very nicely. And we ended up securing that P9 spot and passing Kvyat. So I was pretty happy about that, and as you can see down below, it said 10th place, but then it moved up to 9th place. I think that's a glitch, a well-known glitch that's happened in career mode, where it tells you you were in one position, but then it switches and tells you you were in another position. But either way, the top 10 is going to be Charles Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Alex Albon, Sebastian Vettel, Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll, myself, and then Daniel Kvyat. So I'm going to leave you guys here, and we're going to move on to the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. The ever-tightening turns 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here at Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide will lose a lot of time getting back on track. Turn 14 should still be the best place for overtaking, but we'll have to see some improvement in the weather before the drivers can take advantage of that DRS assistance. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. And thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Vettel, Ocon, Stroll, Iceman, and Daniel Kvyat, Perez, Giovinazzi, Lando Norris, and Ricciardo, Gasly, Sainz, Kevin Magnussen, and George Russell, Grosjean, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's
hey guys,
race.
so here we are now on the grid getting ready to go into the race, and I don't know if I maybe mentioned at the beginning of the video, but this is going to be a full wet race. Because of that, I decided to go with 1 lap less fuel than there are amount of laps, because I'm going to be doing a lot of fuel saving so I can afford to really make the car as light as possible. And yeah, big surprise, we actually made it into Q3, and we didn't actually finish last in Q3 either. We did beat our newly appointed rival Daniel Kvyat to get into 9th place, so I'm pretty happy with our qualifying performance. And usually when it comes to the past couple of episodes, we've done a lot better in the race than we did in qualifying, so I'm sort of looking forward to it. It seems as if I do have some pace around here in the wet compared to the AI. And yeah, let's see what we can do in this. It's going to be a full wet race, so I'm a little bit anxious at the same time because, you know, I'm not necessarily the best when it comes to wet weather conditions, but it seems as if the car has some pace around here, so let's see if maybe we can get even more points than we did in the last race. So what I'll do now is I'll do the formation lap, and then I'll see you guys after the formation lap. Alright, here we are, finished the formation lap. Sorry if it's going to be a little bit quiet for this one. I am going to be concentrating quite a lot when it comes to this because it's going to be a full wet race. But let's see what we could do here. Alright, here we go, guys. 4 lights, 5. And there's it. There we go. 5 lights and away we go. Couldn't get a really good start there. And we're on the outside going into turn 1, so this is going to be pretty bad unless we can squeeze our way through. There we go, we're on the inside for turn 2. There we go, got the traction down when we needed to. Oh, that was big there, that was a big moment. Somehow we managed to keep our position though. Alright then, managed to get through the first half of the lap. So now, probably just going to keep my head down and just try and get myself within a decent rhythm here. Because I've never really driven in a wet around here on this game, so I don't know what my pace is like relative to the AI. And as you can see, Stroll is already pulling quite a big gap on me. Definitely do think that underfueling the car will benefit us later on in the race. But we'll see what we can do. Well, here we go. On lap 3, obviously there's going to be no DRS because we're in wet conditions. But we seem to be getting in a smooth rhythm. Pretty much everyone is just behind each other. We're still in the same positions that we were before. I didn't see anyone overtake us behind. Overtake anyone behind, I meant. We've not obviously been overtaken. But we're sort of keeping the same distance between us and Stroll and us and Kvyat. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go back into concentration mode and just try and keep our position.
Some information on Kvyat. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Oh, that's brilliant. Just been told by Jeff that Kvyat does have mechanical problems. And he is our rival when it comes to this current part of the season. So if those mechanical problems end up in a retirement, then we'll be looking at a huge gap between us and Kvyat already, just as we've started our little rivalry. So let's just sit here and hope and pray that this mechanical issue lasts a while, especially right now, because we want to get away from Kvyat right now. Keeping well with Stroll. Keep him within a certain distance, which is fine by me for now. The yellow flag behind us went a little bit wide.
Green flag.
Not sure what's going on behind us, we'll have to wait and see. Sergio Perez out of this race, the first retirement. No safety car, I'm assuming that he managed to get off the track relatively safely then. See, that's why I'm being sort of cautious here, because the traction for me is just nothing compared to the AI. The AI are known for their good traction, especially in wet conditions.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
If you look behind us though, guys, you will see there is a little bit of a gap forming between myself and Kvyat, so that mechanical issues, it's causing big problems for him already, so I'm happy about that. Alright, gonna try going for a move here on Stroll. Don't know if we'll be able to.
Pace, you're catching the car in front by a second per lap.
Oh, there we go. Managed to get past Stroll. I'm hoping that with Perez having some sort of issue, I don't know if it was mechanical or anything like that, but with Perez having some sort of issue, that maybe Stroll will have the same issue because they're on the same car. But as you can see from the minimap, Kvyat is holding everybody up behind us, so that's really given us a huge advantage in this race so far. And as I said, we seem to have decent amount of pace here in the wet, so this is looking like it's going to be a very, very good race for us in terms of points. We're already almost out of the DRS zone. Obviously there's no DRS right now, but we're almost out of the DRS zone to Stroll already. So that's just proving that we do have some pace around here relative to the AI. And this part right here is probably my weakest part on the track. So things are looking good. Gonna keep my head down and see what we can do. Oh well, it's a couple laps and look at how far we are from Stroll. 2.7 seconds and we're here really breathing down Ocon's neck. So I'm pretty excited for how this race is going right now, guys. I really think we can do pretty well, get some decent amount of points if we do the pit strategy right and stuff like that, and if we keep the car on the road. Been stuck behind Ocon for a while now. Clearly quicker than him, but with the dirty air we just can't get close enough in the vital parts of the track. So hoping that we can get an overtake move done on him in the next lap or two, so that we can really move towards the top 6. I mean, they're pulling away, so the more they pull away, the harder it's going to be to really catch up with them and see if we can actually get a top 6 finish in this Alfa Romeo car. Right now we're fighting for the best of the rest position, which obviously our car isn't the best of the rest, but this would be pretty good if we can actually finish in 7th place. Okay, this is the closest we've been to Ocon in a while, so I'm hoping that we can go for an overtake move here. Let's see. He's defending. And there we go. Get car slowed down. And there we go, we made the move. Finally, after a good couple of laps of following him, finally in front. Go a little bit wide there, but luckily we don't get a warning.
We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
Alright, now that I've got past Ocon, my next target is Albon and those top 6 drivers. So I'm definitely going to be able to, keep my head down rather. Try and push now for these next couple of laps. Surely we're going to be pitting soon, so we'll see what goes on there. See when these guys in front of me pit and see when these guys behind me, being Stroll and Ocon, when they decide to pit as well. I think we're going to be pitting in the next couple of laps, I believe. Okay, I'm not sure how many laps it's been. Definitely been at least a couple. As you can see, we've been bringing down slowly but surely the gap between us and Albon, and we've been extending it between us and Ocon. I think we're about 3 seconds ahead of Ocon now. About 5 seconds away from Albon. So I definitely think that if we continue to drive like this, we can definitely catch Albon by the end of the race. What I'll do is when we're on the straight, I will check to see how much faster I'm going than him. Hopefully Jeff will actually tell me. Alright, just get the traction down here. Alright, let's see.
Albon's just ahead. Push for the position. Our gap to the car in front is 6.4 seconds. They're on old inters. Their tyres are 13 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:47.8. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
Oh, okay, so we're only gaining by a 10th a lap, according to Jeff, so we're gonna have to go a little bit quicker if we want to be able to catch some of the quicker guys.
We're gonna box this lap. Push hard on the in lap.
Here we go, I'm gonna box, so I'm gonna stay quiet and push as much as I can so that I can get into the pits as quick as I can. So I'll see you guys when I'm getting close to the pits. Alright guys, here we go. We're gonna pit, I'm assuming, yep, Albon's gonna pit as well. So let's see where everyone else comes out. Okay, managed to get the car slowed down in time. I was actually pretty worried that I'd end up getting a penalty there. Alright, we're going to need a good stop from the guys, so let's see what sort of stop we're looking at here.
Complete, go now.
Oh, 3.1, and I let go a slight bit too early.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
I think that was good enough though. I don't think we lost too much time. Alright guys, back to business, back to pushing and trying to catch up this top 6. So again, I'm sorry for not talking as much during this race, but I'm really trying to get a good position here, so I'm concentrating the hell out of this one. So I'll see you guys if something interesting happens. If not, then well, I guess I'll just see you the next time that something interesting happens. We're starting to show a really strong pace, as you can see. We've brought the gap down to Albon as we get a new personal best again. So just 4 seconds, but I don't think we have enough laps to really catch Albon and make a decent enough move on him. But we'll see, you never know. We are definitely showing very strong pace right now. Looking at 3 seconds now, we've taken 2 tenths in a single corner, I think.
The gap to the car ahead is 3.6 seconds.
As we apparently get a purple sector 1. Definitely once again showing our pace. So I'm happy about this. We could actually catch Albon, depending on how slow he goes over the next couple of laps. There's nothing really interesting going on right now in our sort of side of the things. We've just been by ourselves most of the time. So hopefully we can catch Albon. Oh no. My teammate is just retired from the race. That's a huge blow to Alfa Romeo. I don't know where Giovinazzi was in the race at that time. I don't think he was inside the points, but still not good to have your teammate retired. Alright guys, so we're on the final lap now. Literally nothing's happened. Albon has kept his lead, and in a lot of cases, as you can see now, he's actually increased his lead. He's shown his pace in the last couple of laps. So we've just been really by ourselves for a lot of it. You can see that Ocon is now 11 seconds behind us. So we're going to finish in 7th place unless we end up bottling it right here. But I'm assuming that Valtteri Bottas is going to win the race because he has been getting fastest lap after fastest lap. So I'm assuming he's in the lead and he's showing a lot of pace. So we'll see in a second. But I think he is going to win this. I'm not sure who is going to be on the podium with him, but we'll find out once the race is done. But pretty good race for us. Yep, there you go. Confirmation that Valtteri Bottas does in fact win this Chinese Grand Prix. But this has been a good weekend for us. We qualified in 9th place, actually managing to get into Q3 in this Alfa Romeo car. So that's brilliant. You know, the car definitely showing a lot of pace around here in wet conditions. So I'm happy about that. Maybe that means that in other tracks similar to China, in wet conditions, we can showcase some pace as well. So if it's raining during those races as well, we could be looking at a good race. As we come up to the final corner now, there we go. We managed to keep the car on the road in 7th place. We only gained a few positions, but still an incredible race for us, considering.
Take care of the car on the way in.
Yes, another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place here today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Okay then guys, so in first place we've got Valtteri Bottas with the fastest lap as well, so he's going to have even more points on top of everybody else. But joining him on the podium is Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Then we've got Max Verstappen, we've got Vettel, Albon, and then myself in 7th place. And then we've got Ocon, Stroll and Kvyat rounding off the top 10. Then we've got Lando Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly, Magnussen, Russell, Grosjean, Latifi, and then we've got my teammate and Sergio Perez being the only retirements of this race. So we did pretty well. I mean, if you look at our fastest lap, it's actually even quicker than Vettel's fastest lap in a Ferrari as well. So definitely a good race from us. Looking at the standings, we move up into 8th place now, overtaking Daniel Kvyat, which is very good considering that he's our new rival in the championship. And then looking at the constructors now, Mercedes, they're just pulling away. Valtteri Bottas is just getting so many points, but we move up into 7th place, overtaking McLaren. So definitely catching up now to AlphaTauri. We're only a point behind them, so you know, if I can keep gathering points over these next couple of races, we can overtake them and even possibly overtake Renault. So Alfa Romeo looking in quite a good position right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you guys here. I'm going to go into the back end, back into HQ, see if there's anything that needs to be done. If there is, I'll showcase it. If not, I'll end the video there. So I'll see you guys at headquarters. Okay guys, so we're here now at HQ. So looking at our R&D, we've got 2,135 points at the moment, so I can definitely spend that on some stuff. We've already made upgrades to the chassis. We've put this upgrade on, which should come between... I'm actually not sure when it should arrive. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna arrive in between the Dutch and Spanish GP, I believe. And let's look at the aerodynamics and see. That's going to arrive just after the Spanish GP, so we'll have to wait a little bit for those. But we can do some upgrades to the engine components. Actually, where are we in the performance? We've got the best engine on the grid actually, so yeah, I don't think we actually need to worry about our engine for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend it on our durability, because even though our durability is great, it's still not where I want it to be. I think our gearbox wear is already at about 69-70%, so we're going to go for the gearbox durability number 2, get that on the car. And then I'm going to look at my... oh, we don't have enough. I was going to get an ICE upgrade as well, but we don't have enough, so we'll save that. Looking at our perks, we've got $300,000 right now to our name. So what I'll do is I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to buy one of these perks, and if you do, which perk do you want me to buy? Do you want me to buy the social team, the social media team, power mapping, media coaching, or development feedback? Right now, I'm honestly in between the power mapping and development feedback, but I'll leave it up to you guys. So what I'm going to do is the stuff that I need to do in terms of just moving through to the next GP, I'll do that off screen. So if you want to see more career mode videos similar to this, make sure to hit the like button and click that big red button down below to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video.